Hi guys, it's Simon from TechnoLife Video and I'm here to talk about WWDC 2012. So what is WWDC? Well, it is the Worldwide Developers Conference and it is Apple's Worldwide Developers Conference. It is held around this time of year every year. And look, it used to be, it is about software. It is about developers who develop for Apple. It used to be in line with the launch of the iPhone. But Apple have moved that away to October, when it happened last year for the iPhone 4S. And I think that's when the iPhone 5 is going to come out. So we won't see the iPhone 5. But what we will see is the software, so the iOS software, and also Mountain Lion, which is the evolution of Lion for the Macs. So we'll see that evolution, well, I think Revolution probably for iOS. I think there's probably going to be some bigger changes there, but it's hard to say with Apple. They tend to do things their own way. I think that Siri is going to potentially, they may open up some APIs so the developers can hook into Siri and maybe control some features of their apps. I think the widgets in Notification Center, there's going to be some changes there. At the moment you can have weather and stocks, but I think developers will be able to use those widgets. I'm looking at some notes here on my iPad that I've made. In terms of hardware, I think the Macs are actually going to be refreshed in line with the conference. Although the conference itself focuses on the software, the Macs are overdue. There's been a lot of rumours. I think the MacBook Pros are going to get much thinner. They may go to solid state hard drives across the range. Look, certainly for boot up times and things like that, it would be great. I think they'll drop the 17-inch MacBook Pro. I don't believe it's as big as seller. I think they get a lot of sales through actually like the smaller 13-inch sizes, and obviously the Air goes down to an 11-inch. A lot of people now, with the use of Thunderbolt, can very quickly and easily. I mean, you could do it before, but obviously Thunderbolt's even easier to plug into a larger display. All the Macs are going to get Ivy Bridge processors. They're all going to speed up. So everything's going to be, in terms of power and processing power, battery life. You know, they'll be talking about all that stuff for sure. Some talk about the Mac Pro being gone. Mac Pro, in my opinion, I have an early 2008 Mac Pro, still running strong, still runs faster than most of the iMacs that are available, and so I think the Mac Pro range is here to stay. I think it will have a big overhaul, and we'll talk about that in another video. I think the iMacs will see a slight kind of design evolution rather than revolution. You know, slightly smaller foot on them. I hope that the display actually goes out further to the edge. If you've seen some of the Samsung televisions, they basically have the display going all the way to the edge, and then they have a little bit of clear plastic around the edge, and it literally looks like the picture is floating in midair. I hope that Apple drop that down. It also means that if you're using two monitors, with your iMac you might be using a second 27-inch display if you've got the 27-inch iMac. And what that means is there's a big gap in between because you've got this massive big black bezel around the edge. So if they reduce that down, using two monitors is a much more pleasurable experience, and a lot of people do use multiple monitors these days for different purposes. The cinema display, if the iMac changed the design and that surround changes the bezel, I think the cinema display would follow suit. I think that we may see with iOS 6, as my computer beeps and I quickly mute the volume, with iOS 6 we might see some apps come to Apple TV, and what that does is that it leads towards the potential of Apple Display. We won't see an Apple TV or iDisplay at this conference. We won't see that yet. And I don't think we'll see a low cost Mac Pro or MacBook Air. I don't think there'll be a budget one. I think Mac are happy with where they sit in the marketplace, and I don't think they feel they need to cut corners to appeal to, I think it's like, you want a Mac, this is what you get, and I don't think that cutting corners is what they do. So I don't think they're going to do that. That's my thoughts. What are my hopes? My hopes are that I hope that they do open up the Apple TV to developers, so they can develop apps. I think that would be great. You look at some of the other companies like Samsung, LG. A lot of the apps on their TVs, are pretty amazing. They then have gestures on their remote. You can gesture. You can also talk into the remote. So again, Siri, you have a remote. You can do gestures on it. You can talk into it. Use apps. That's the way I see that potentially heading. The remote being more like a Magic Mouse than, but you could also have an app on your iPhone or your iPad that is obviously linking in, and use that as well. I'm really interested to see where Siri goes, and how they develop and evolve that. And I think that iOS 6 is going to have a lot of additional features. Well, I hope. That's my hope. Look, I'm going to make some more videos, which I will link to in this video, covering iOS 6, covering Mountain Lion, the launch of the new Macs. I'll talk a little bit about iPhone 5 in that video, and also I will talk about the Apple Display. So look, a bunch of videos coming to talk about this stuff. I won't cram it all into one video, but they're my thoughts. Mainly a focus on software, but a release of the new Mac lineup. Apple spoke earlier in the year about this being a big year. I don't think they were just referring to the iPhone later in the year. I think we're going to see lots of kind of exciting improvements in that product line. So look, I'm Simon from TechnoLife Video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Oh, I forgot to mention, please feel free to comment on the video. I always try to reply to comments if I can. Please subscribe to the channel. I love your support, and please like the video. I would, again, it all helps out. I'm Simon from TechnoLife Video, and we'll see you next time. Bye. Hi guys, it's Simon from TechnoLife Video, and I'm here to talk about WDC. WW? Well, if you don't know what WWDC is, don't worry, I'll tell you. And there's my phone beep. That's what happens when you've got an iPhone, it beeps at you. You know what's wrong? Haven't taken my medication, and I'm feeling a bit... Not that that's going to make the sniffs go away straight away. I always reply to comments whenever I possibly can, if they make sense. Happy.